So this is just a video describing these Kora decals here, and this is a little bugbear of mine that when you're building these kits, certainly some of these ones that I'm doing are a bit odd, so some of the early Messerschmitts and those sort of things, it's quite prominent to see the propeller logos, and for some reason quite a lot of kits don't supply them. So for instance, at the minute I'm working on a 1/32 Stuka, which has quite a large propeller, and it should have 3 of these Junkers logos on it, and it doesn't, and obviously that sort of stands out quite a bit to me. There's quite a missing part, so they're quite useful for when it comes to this. Also, I've just done a Airfix Stuka in 1/48 scale, and that again didn't have the logos, and they're quite prominent. So I've also got a set of these in 1/48. So you do get these in. They do it in all the scales, so 1/72, 48th and 32nd. It's by Kora. You get pretty much the same thing regardless of the scale. And they also do them, this is just the German ones that I've bought, but they do them for, as far as I can tell, every single Air Force and manufacturer that you need to worry about. So you get, these repeat quite a lot, the Hamilton Standard, because that's an American version. It's what the Curtiss aircraft use, so obviously when you get the American one you have quite a lot of those as well. But here in the German set you get Hamilton Standard, Junkers, VDM, and you get 2 types. You've got the early, which is a clear one, then you've got a white backed one, and then you just get the small logo, which is the bottom of the triangle for the later one. So these blocks here, which is like a paragraph, would be used on the later aircraft, so like the BF-109 E through to K, and a lot of the later aircraft, for instance. And then you've got a few more of the unusual ones here. So you've got Schwartz here, and it is quite useful. It does list what aircraft use these different types. So when we get down to Schwartz, you've got the Typhoon, the BF-108, AR-65, AR-68, FW-56, HE-51, etc. So it's a lot of the early aircraft with the twin-bladed wooden propeller. And then you've got another set here, which are for similar ones. You've got the there's actually the Pfizer Storch here with the early propeller, which is quite useful because I'm planning on making one of them, and the later propeller. So it's just, as I say, it's quite useful. So the one thing that is needed to know about these, this is the same with all Kora decals. You get a little sheet here, and it tells you that these are produced by non-standard technology. What that basically means is these are printed extremely well. They come off very well, they go down brilliantly, they're extremely good decals. However, they are not pre-cut, so the transfer film is right the way across here, so you have to cut these out. This isn't really a problem, especially for these triangle ones, but when you start getting on the circle ones it's a bit more tricky, and you just want to try and get the carrier film as close to the decal as possible. So I'm now going to cut out some of these ones for the Junkers and actually apply them to this propeller here, and then we'll see what the final article is like. And there we have it. All that's needed now is just a touch of micro set or whatever you use just to set the decals down. There's no need to go mad on them as far as trying to get them bed down, because it's a very smooth surface, and as you can see it's quite effective. So if they're not there, you know, it kind of shows out, you see. That's just something I like to do. It's a nice finishing touch. So if you didn't know about that, then there they are. That's Kora decals. And I didn't actually find these when I was first looking for this, so hence why I thought I'd do this video to give it a bit more exposure. I tried to print my own and had no end of problems. So there you go. Yeah, very highly recommended and useful for all types of aircraft. This is, like I said, just the German ones, but they make them for all different types. So check them out. I bought mine from Hannants in the UK, and they seem to have all of them in stock, but Kora also have their own website. So give them a Google and see if there's anything of interest.